Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Recording.
Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vashyatadishitarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parikacharya, Astotra Siddhi Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parikacharya, Astotra Siddhi Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव विंद की जय, नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर धाम की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, मायापुर नदी धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगा मई जमुना मई की जय, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय, समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All Vishnu and Gaurang.
Welcome everyone to Srimad Bhagavatam with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. It is Monday, May 19th, and today we're starting with Srimad Bhagavatam 4.15.1, Canto 4, Chapter 15, Text 1. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Treya Uvacha Pathatasya Punar Viprer Upotrasya Mahipatehe Bahubhyam Matyamanavyam Mitunam Samapatyata. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, thus the Brahmanas and the great sages again churned the two arms of King Vena's dead body. As a result, a male and female couple came out of his arms. Maharaj, or anybody, do you have thoughts on this?
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Shaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachate Shatayam. Just noting that the previous churning was churning of Vena's thighs, and now there's churning of the arms. Hare Krishna.
For text 2, Radesha Prabhu, are you available to read?
I'm with my baby right now. I think I'd be too distracted, so I'm just listening.
Okay, Mahesh Pandit Prabhu, are you able
Yes,
to?
and go ahead, yes. Text number 2. Tada drishtva mithunam jatamru yasho brahmavadinaha ucha paramasantushta viditva bhagavat kalam kalam. Expansion of it. The great sages were highly learned in Vedic knowledge. When they saw the male and female born of the arms of Vena's body, they were very pleased, for they could understand that the couple was an expansion of a plenary portion of Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The method adopted by the great sages and the scholars who were learned in Vedic knowledge was perfect. They removed all the reaction of King Vena's sinful activities by seeing that King Vena first gave birth to Bahuka, described in the previous chapter. After King Vena's body was thus purified, a male and female came out of it. And the great sage could understand that this was an expansion of Lord Vishnu. This expansion, of course, was not Vishnu Tattva, but specifically empowered expansion of Lord Vishnu known as Avesha. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Sadakaya Chakshurumritam Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasayabhutra Shrimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurumani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Prasastarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktamanda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. So now here appears Lord Vishnu's expansion is Avesh Avatar. First of all, they got rid of all the sin, like in purport says, that when I had collected over the period. So they churned the thighs, and then the bahuk came out, and it was all his sin was in that body. Now, and that is, it says that's very clever, because now all the sins are gone. So now the sages they are churning the arms of the Venus body. So now from there comes a couple, and male and female. And it was an expansion of Lord Vishnu. It's not a Vishnu Tattva, but it's an avatar, Avesh avatar. So that's Prithu Maharaj. Also, we have Avesh avatar in Bhagavatam. We read Parshuram. Then who else? Avesh.
Buddha, Narad.
Was that Maharaj?
Lord Buddha, Narad Muni.
Yes, Narad Muni. Yes. So this Avesh avatar comes for some specific purpose that Lord has planned for them. And later on, we will find out what the Prithu Maharaj does. But it's interesting, the last time we discussed that they churn the body, okay. Now the arms are churned, and then the male and female comes out, meaning the soul enter in that particular body. This is how I understood. And because without soul, churning body has nothing. There's no meaning of that. And as I said, very cleverly they removed all the sins, and all the other thing remained is pure goodness. Yes. Now we will hear all the activities of Prithu Maharaj later on. Thank you, Maharaj, please.
Nothing to add. Nothing to add.
Oh, okay.
Nice,
Text
Pandit. Yeah,
yes,
please go ahead.
Rishi Uchu Esha Vishnu Bhavaktah Kala Bhuvana Palini Iyam Cha Lakshmya Sambhuti Purushasthayana Payini. The great sage said, the male is a plenary expansion of the power of Lord Vishnu, who maintains the entire universe. And the female is a plenary expansion of goddess of fortune, who is never separated from the Lord. The significance of the goddess of fortunes never being separated from the Lord is clearly mentioned herein. People in the material world are very fond of the goddess of fortune, and they want her favor in the form of riches. They should know, however, that the goddess of fortune is inseparable from Lord Vishnu. Materialists should understand that the goddess of fortune should be worshipped along with Lord Vishnu and should not be neglected, should not be regarded separately. Materialists seeking the favor of the goddess of fortune must worship Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi together to maintain material opulence. If a materialistic follow the policy of Ravana, who wanted to separate Sita from Lord Ramchandra, the process of separation will vanquish him. Those who are very, very rich and have taken favor of the goddess of fortune in this world must engage their money in the service of the Lord. In this way, they can continue in their opulent position without disturbance. Very powerful purport by Srila Prabhupada. And as previous verse says, there is a male and female came out by churning the two arms of King Vena's body. And here it says that the male is plenary expansion of the power of Lord Vishnu, and Vishnu maintains the whole universe. And the female is a plenary expansion of goddess of fortune. And this is very important, who is never separated from the Lord. So as we see, when Krishna comes, also Radharani comes. When Ramchandra comes, also Sita Devi appears. Sitaram, Radhe Shyam, or Radha Krishna. So similarly here also, Prithu Maharaj came, and then her name is Archi, also appeared from there. And Prabhupada gives us a good instruction that we should worship always combination of Radha and Krishna. If we worship only goddess of fortune, Radha or goddess of fortune, then there is no meaning, because they are never separated. So you have to worship Radha. And Prabhupada has established all over the world the deities, the Radha Krishna, or Gaur-Nitai, never single. One time I remember there was some program in this area, and they had only Krishna's murti or statue there. And immediately there was Ramapa Swami was there, and he immediately said, where is Radharani? We always worship Radha and Krishna. So this is very important. And goddess of fortune is brings all the opulence. So if you want goddess of fortune only opulence and not Krishna, it's like Ravan's policy, because he wanted to separate Ram and Sita, and we don't want to be in that category. So always worship Radha Krishna or Vishnu and goddess of fortune. And when they both are together, everything becomes happy. Okay. And here it says, if you want continue the opulent position without disturbance, then you should worship Radha and Krishna. Thank you very much. Maharaj, please.
Yes, nothing to add again.
We have Praveen Krishna Prabhu in the chat writing. Argument. There are many rich businesses who neither worship Narayan nor Lakshmi, rich families through generations.
Yeah, so they're getting the blessings of Durga, material energy, and the result is that they're bewildered. Those who, yes, that's the position. One doesn't have to worship Vishnu to become opulent. In fact, that question was put to Yudhishthira by Yudhishthira Maharaj to the Lord, that we see that the devotees of Lord Shiva are generally very rich, although Lord Shiva himself lives under a tree. And the devotees of Lord Vishnu are very poor, although he's the husband of the goddess of fortune. That's the general pattern. Not that it's contrary to our thinking that the materialist can become rich. Yes, he can become rich and foolish.
Also, Maharaj, may I say, it's if somebody doesn't worship and still have some kind of riches, that's because of their karma.
And because they're thieves. Yo bhunte stena evasa. There's no rule that a thief can't become rich. But he's a thief, and eventually he'll be caught and punished.
Right, eventually, yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, I can go ahead, Rasu.
Please.
Text number 3. Rushaya Uchu. Oh no, number 4. Okay. Ayam tu prathamo ragnyam pumana pratha itayasha puthurnama maharajo bhavishyati puthushrava. Of the two, the male will be able to expand his reputation throughout the world. His name will be Prithu. Indeed, he will be the first among kings. There are different types of incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Shastra, it is said that Garuda, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva and Ananta are all very powerful incarnations of the Brahman feature of the Lord. Similarly, Sachipati or Indra, king of heaven, is an incarnation of the lusty future of the Lord. Aniruddha is an incarnation of Lord's mind. Similarly, King Prithu is an incarnation of the ruling force of the Lord. Thus, the saintly persons and great sages predicted the future activities of King Prithu, who was already explained as a partial incarnation of a plenary expansion of the Lord. So here again, Prabhupada indicates that the male part, when the male appear, is Maharaj Prithu. And it says he's the original king. So I can imagine or say that this is the first incarnation of Lord Vishnu or Satyavishavatar in a form of king. And that's the first time it appeared. It says that. King Prithu. And when somebody borns, then they also have his chart. They prepare their chart and they invite the learned brahmanas and ask them what will he do in the future. Similarly, these great sages will also foretell the future activities of King Prithu. And here also there are incarnations of Lord Krishna, very powerful incarnation, but they all come from Brahman future of the Lord. So there are three ways you can know Krishna: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So here they say that these are the Brahman future of the Lord. Who are they? The Garuda, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, Shiva, Lord Shiva. There is incarnation of Lord Krishna in from the Brahman future, or he is again three modes of nature: Sattva gun, Rajogun, Tamogun. So he represents the Tamogun, and Ananta, Lord Ananta. They are all powerful incarnation. Similarly, Indra, King Indra also is incarnation of lusty future of the Lord. Aniruddha, mind, is an incarnation of Lord's mind. Yes. And King Prithu is an incarnation of the ruling force of the Lord. So you can imagine what kind of a king he will become. We'll see later on. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Andrew Prabhu has a hand.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. This, I don't recall seeing elsewhere Prabhupada describing how an incarnation can be an incarnation of the Brahman feature of the Lord. I'm trying to understand how that works, what that means.
Yes, it's a little perplexing. Let's see. It's not for Prabhupada doesn't explain it. He just says it. What does it mean that they're incarnations of the Brahman feature? I don't know what he has in mind there. Yeah, sorry.
Bean Krishna Prabhu is wondering, anything from SVCT?
He has a series of very, very short comments on any of these verses, nothing that shines light particularly on.
This one,
Yeah.
the sages churn the arms of Vena. This signifies that the power of the Kshatriyas and the power of the Lord lie in the arms of the Kshatriyas. And the verse also explains the derivation of Prithu's name. Hare Krishna.
Andrew Prabhu, would you like to read? next?
Sure, starting with 5 here.
Yeah.
Yam cha sudati devi guna bhushana bhushana archir nama vararoha pritum eva varundati. The female has such beautiful teeth and beautiful qualities that she will actually beautify the ornaments she wears. Her name will be Archi. In the future, she will accept King Prithu as her husband.
Prabhu, do you have any thoughts? Or
Well, there's no purport. I wondered if Maharaj had anything to say on this.
Just that short comment is there from Vishwanath again.
Right. He says, she is the ornament of all ornaments and qualities, guna bhushana bhushana. By her devotion, she will control Prithu.
Andrew Prabhu? Oh, sorry, Maharaj, you have something. Andrew Prabhu, would you like to continue with text 6?
Sure.
It's all right.
Also, just noticed that Prithu and Archie did not appear married immediately, but they would marry later. They did appear at the same time, but it's another section of her pastime.
Praveen Krishna Prabhu writes, both appeared from the same source, yet they are not considered as brother and sister.
Is that a question or?
I don't see a question mark.
Yes, they're not considered brother and sister.
All right, 6.
This is not your ordinary birth. So they're not. Their relationship is not calculated by ordinary standards.
Esha sakshad dharer angsho jato loka ririkshaya iyang chatat parahi shrir anujagne napayani. In the form of King Prithu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared through a part of his potency to protect the people of the world. The goddess of fortune is the constant companion of the Lord. Therefore, she has incarnated partially as Archi to become King Prithu's queen. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that whenever one sees an extraordinary power, he should conclude that a specific partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is present. There are innumerable such personalities, but not all of them are direct Vishnu Tattva, plenary expansions of the Lord. Many living entities are classified among the Shakti Tattvas. Such incarnations empowered for specific purposes are known as Shaktyavesha avatars. King Prithu was such a Shaktyavesha avatar of the Lord. Similarly, Archi, King Prithu's wife, was a Shaktyavesha avatar of the goddess of fortune. Om Jnana Timidantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo. I was pondering how when we read this pastime of the sages churning the dead body of King Vena, it's such an extraordinary thing for people to come along, churn some limbs of the dead body and other living beings to come out. Certainly a science not currently held in the minds of contemporary technologists, but to me, it illustrates that this is a science that's known to a certain group of people. These sages of yore, they knew how to do these things and have very specific results happen. And it's not even mentioned, but it's not even mentioned in the text or in the commentary. But there's no mention anywhere of King Vane as queen, if he had one, because there was just no time. The sages needed, they saw the need for replacement government right away. There is no time to wait for a son to come, or what to speak of grow to manhood and learn how to rule. They needed somebody right away. So this was the technology that they employed. In a similar way, you look at the our cookbook of Yamuna Devi Mataji, Lord Krishna's cuisine. There are dishes in there that are so they require such careful and elaborate preparation that there's no other way to achieve them except by following that recipe. That is a cooking, Vedic cooking especially, is a science that does not allow entry to any evolutionary theory of any kind, because you cannot evolve a gulab jamun any more than you can randomly churn somebody's dead arm and have a king come out. One other thing I noticed as we were reading is that this name of Archie, the Shakti Avesh expansion of the goddess of fortune, Anapayani means inseparable. And we have a person in our movement, a very famous dancer and teacher of Bharatanatyam dance, who's named Anapayani. So anyway, sidebar. Maharaj, we'd love to hear from you if you have something here.
Maharaj, you're muted.
I'm sorry. No, I have nothing to add.
We have something in the chat from Praveen Krishna Prabhu. Can the specific extraordinary powers shown by conditioned living entities be considered partial representation of the Lord,
Yes.
like being the richest man in the world?
Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam Srimad urjitam eva va tat tadeva avagachatvam mamatejam sambhavam. The Lord says, I'm just giving you some samples, but wherever you see vibhuti, some extraordinary manifestation, vibhuti mat sattvam, there may be beauty or wealth, power, whatever. That should be considered to be a product of my power. So these are all, yes, you can say, representations of vibhuti. That's another way that the Lord is present. Here's Shakti Avesh, very particularly empowered by the Lord, but otherwise vibhuti, manifestations of some extraordinary opulence or power. So they also represent Krishna.
Praveen Krishna Prabhu writes, so how should the devotees react to that, since Prithu is worshipable, but not these conditioned souls?
Yeah, he's empowered. So directly empowered, just like the, again, the Viceroy or the spiritual masters, particularly representing the Lord in a particular way. He's empowered to do that. So but we're not worshiping the conditioned soul, that you're also the Supreme Personality of God. But even the king generally is to be honored, whether incarnation or not incarnation. King is considered a representative of God. Naranam Shanaradipam. Yes. And in this case, he's particularly empowered. Hare Krishna.
Shapu, are you still unable to read, or what's
No,
availability like?
I'm fully present now. I transferred the care to somebody else.
Okay.
Text 7. Maitreya Uvacha Prashangsanti smatam vipra gandharva pravara jaguhu mumuchu sumano dhara siddha nrityanti svatstriyaha. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Viduraji, at that time all the Brahmanas highly praised and glorified King Prithu, and the best singers of Gandharva Loka chanted his glories. The inhabitants of Siddhaloka showered flowers, and the beautiful women in the heavenly planets danced in ecstasy. Shankaturya mridangadya nedur dundu bhayodvi tatra sarva upajagmur devarshi pitrinam ganah. Conch shells, bugles, drums, and kettle drums vibrated in outer space. Great sages, forefathers, and personalities from the heavenly planets all came to Earth from various planetary systems. Brahma Jagat Gurur Devai Sahastriya Sureshwarai Vainyasya Dakshine Haste Drishtva Chihnam Gadabhritaha Padayor Aravindang Cha Tang Vaimene Hare Kalam Yasya Pratihatang Chakram Angsha Saparameshtinaha. Lord Brahma, the master of the entire universe, arrived there accompanied by all the demigods and their chiefs. Seeing the lines of Lord Vishnu's palm on King Prithu's right hand and impressions of lotus flowers on the soles of his feet, Lord Brahma could understand that King Prithu was a partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One whose palm bears the sign of a disc, as well as other such lines, should be considered a partial representation or incarnation of the Supreme Lord. There is a system by which one can detect an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nowadays, it has become a cheap fashion to accept any rascal as an incarnation of God. But from this incident, we can see that Lord Brahma personally examined the hands and feet of King Prithu for specific signs. In their prophecies, the learned sages and brahmanas accepted Prithu Maharaj as a plenary partial expansion of the Lord. During the presence of Lord Krishna, however, a king declared himself Vasudev, and Lord Krishna killed him. Before accepting someone as an incarnation of God, one should verify his identity according to the symptoms mentioned in the Shastras. Without these symptoms, the pretender is subject to be killed by the authorities for pretending to be an incarnation of God. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Apratihatam means his hand was not different with its other lines also. His hand was not different with its other lines also. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Guru Dasa Jayadvaita Swami Niti Namine. Couple of things come to my mind. That everyone is offering their talents. The Apsaras have this dancing talent. So many musicians are there. So many various demigods are showing up, each with their abilities. A lot of music, a lot of celebration, but all properly utilized in the service of the Lord. So many of these talents can be utilized for sense gratification. Oh, I'm a great dancer, so I'll dance in Rath Yatra, but then once the festival is over, I'll go dance in the club. So maybe there's some of that in the heavenly planets also, but at least in the current moment, their talents are being utilized in serving Maharaj Prithu. And then I also noticed that these specific symptoms of divinity are present in the lines in his hands and the soles of his feet. I remember learning about this when I was a little boy, and I remember checking my feet and my hands, thinking, "Oh, maybe, just maybe, there's some special lines." I couldn't distinguish anything; it's just ordinary. But I think for those who are expert at reading these signs, they can distinguish, oh, this is a powerful personality. These are signs that this is an incarnation. And I remember one thing you mentioned, Guru Maharaj, before, was that the incarnations, I forget where we were reading in Shastra, but it had mentioned that the incarnations are mentioned in Shastra, and therefore you can distinguish between a cheat and a real incarnation. And one thing you mentioned was that, well, a cheat could just say, "Oh, I'm one of the incarnations that aren't mentioned in Shastra," because there are so many incarnations, they're coming, unlimited expansions of the Lord. And so one cheater, you provided, not that we give any hints to cheaters, but you had said that that might be a loophole to an incarnation being described in Shastra, is that, oh, I'm one of the ones that's not described. And reading this text today, I'm thinking, well, here's another system of verifying. Okay, show us your palms and your feet, and hopefully we have someone that can read it properly. But in any case, Srila Prabhupada also says, okay, if you're an incarnation of the Lord, then you also lift up Govardhan Hill. You also show us your extraordinary activities, and they'll be unable to do so. And of course, Prithu Maharaj, well, anyway, I won't bother going there. I'm hearing about how he's being glorified, Prashangsanti. He's being glorified by all of these exalted personalities, and pretty soon he'll say, "Hey, it's an insult to glorify me before I've done anything." So reel in that praise. Not only is he so powerful, but he's so humble. His humility is glorious. All right, Guru Maharaj.
Not much to add. This science of physiognomy was there. We read in the first canto that when Shukadev Goswami appeared at Naimisharanya, the sages could see, oh, this must be Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, because he had all these extraordinary features. Hare Krishna.
I have one thought, Guru Maharaj. When we talk about physiognomy and features, I think of Buddha Pena Pankar. We don't judge a Vaishnava's features as part of their distinguishing characteristics of being exalted. So I was wondering if you have any thoughts on that in terms of physiognomy. Sometimes a Vaishnava might be very ugly or might not have divine features, and yet they're very advanced. So maybe not such.
Divine features are seen. Someone has, particular, what would you say, bodily features that indicate an exalted personality. And they're mentioned in Nectar of Devotion. There's a whole list of such features. So they may indicate divinity in some particular form. But the caution is that don't think that because these features may not be present, therefore this person must be just an ordinary person. Vyasadeva was particularly ugly, and there are so many other examples. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, and now that you mention it, I think of personalities like Judd Buddha, who it's mentioned that if the dirt were scraped away, then they'd be very effulgent. It's just covered. And I think Vyasadeva definitely had some matted hair and some coverings to his effulgence. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Venkatesh Prabhu, are you able to read 11?
Maybe I'll read the next one.
Before you read, I had A question about Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. When I read it, I didn't quite understand what it means. Apratihatam, his hand was not different with its other lines also. Does that just mean that it's not that his hand was normal? It wasn't like I'm not even going to speculate. I don't quite understand that. What's being distinguished by apratihatam? Guru Maharaj, do you have any thoughts on Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary to text 9 and 10?
It appears to be a etymological derivation. Let's see if we learn anything. Yeah. Uninterrupted, unobstructed, irresistible, unaffected, unimpaired, indestructible, uninjured, not passed away. But that's, yeah, I don't have anything further to say about it. Let's see.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna. If I could offer a thought on that, I was looking at the way that the verse is rendered by Srila Vishwanath, and he slightly different than what we see in our Bhagavatam. But he says, whose other lines were the same as the Lord's. So seems like there's course that all the lines in his hand corresponded to the expected signs of an incarnation.
But the implication then would be that the Lord has some ordinary lines. No, but by logical inference, it would be like the Lord has some distinguishing characteristics and then some ordinary lines. And Prithu Maharaj has those same ordinary lines, but not. Anyway, I'm overanalyzing. We can let it go. But I don't know if you have any consideration on that. That what does that mean? That some of the Lord's lines aren't. I guess some of the lines don't display a lotus or a conch. Some of the lines are. Anyway.
I think we may not quite penetrate the mystery this evening.
Green Krishna Prabhu writes, Rama took Prithu's hands and legs to confirm! Exclamation point. Okay, I think we can pause here for Kirtan. Venkatesh Prabhu, are you able to lead Kirtan?
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Prasharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashatya Deshatari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Jai Om Vishpad Paramahamsa Parirajakacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Shri Divayesh Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishpad Paramahamsa Parirajakacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Shri Divayesh Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Vimse Guru Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gokul Gopinath Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Gagama Yamunamai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai devotees, all verses devotees, all glorious devotees, all glorious, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami ki jai.
Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, begging for your mercy, tomorrow I'm going for a surgery, hernia surgery. So please bless me
Yes.
and all the devotees. Please bless.
Okay, if the surgery is successful, then you have to go out and preach.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you. Yes.
Deal?
That's a deal. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
It sounds like you have received those blessings, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. Thank you.
Yeah. There you go.